significance, though, of the UN Secretary General's visit to West African countries at this particular time?
Thank you, Beatrice. I think it's significant for so many reasons. In fact, it should have come yesterday because Africa, for some reason, is in the news all the time for the wrong things, for conflict, for coups recently, for poverty, for all the indices of underdevelopment. But it appears that it is neglected. You have a continent of about 1.2 billion or 1.3 billion people contributing to the world peace and the world economy. But when it comes to African issues, it is neglected. So perhaps he's coming since COVID, that is since 2020. And so he's going to now talk about issues about food, about energy, about finance. And the fact that the Russian invasion of Ukraine has also added to it. So it is feared that 250 million people are likely to be pushed into poverty. And guess where they are coming from? Most of them are from Africa. So I think the world can never do enough for Africa because of, if in terms, if they want there is equity, there is justice. Really, look at what they are doing about Ukraine. But who cares about Africa? Even COVID, the UN Secretary General himself talked about the fact that more than 80% of Africans have not been, of the African population have not been vaccinated. So it is a continent that is struggling, that is neglected by the world.
So if that's your assertion, it is a continent that is neglected by the world. There's been a push, though, for a swift return to civilian rule in countries being ruled by military juntas in West Africa. What role can the UN and regional bodies like ECOWAS play to safeguard democracy in these parts of the continent?
These are the reasons really why they were set up. UN to bring, after the world wars, to bring peace. AU, and which is successor to the Organization of African Unity, OAU, and then ECOWAS since 1975. They were instruments. They were organizations that are supposed to be monitoring the political, socio-economic system in all this in the case of Africa, and but they have failed. For instance, ECOWAS has been, actually stumbling and over the issue. It has 3 countries that are now under military rule: Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso. In the rest of Africa, about 5. If you add Chad and then Sudan. So, and there are conflicts in Ethiopia. Nobody is talking about them. So these are, Ethiopia, by the way, is the headquarters of the AU. And you wonder, why haven't they been able to bring an end to that kind of conflict? I think these organizations should do more, in terms of peer review. It's by leaders. Let the leaders talk to themselves when they are not doing what is right. Some of them are going for tenure elongation. Others are breaking constitution, changing constitution and changing electoral laws to rig elections. And there is no human rights. So, and who is to tell them about this? It is organizations like this, but they have failed. And it's unfortunate.
So where do you draw the balance, though, between non-interference with internal affairs of these West African countries and the need to establish constitutional order?
That non-interference thing used to be what OAU was talking about. But the world has gone past that. The world is a global village. Whatever happens somewhere will reverberate in another place. So you can't say you are running when it pleases you, when it's convenient to talk about non-interference. When people are dying, for instance, what has the UN or the US and the UK, what is their business in what is happening in Ukraine? So this talk about non-interference is neither here nor there. But that is not to say you should invade another country. But if it is a collective, by belonging to these organizations, they have surrendered their sovereignty to these organizations to be able to make decisions that will protect citizens, human rights, and then be able to uplift the people, take the people from this poverty and push them to sustainability. So when they do that, that is, by the way, ECOWAS has done that effectively in intervention in Liberia, in Sierra Leone, and in Guinea, in other places, with applause. So it is not. It's neither here nor there. It is when the countries want to. They want to continue with their iniquities and their atrocities. That's when they begin to plead non-interference. But after all, they will also be asking others to help. It's a world of interdependence.
Right.
No matter how big you are or how small, you need the others.